Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Loving Your Life with Mama D. And of course, I'm Glenda Davis, aka Mama D. And today is Glow Wednesday. And today's episode is going to be on relationships. That's right, relationships. There are so many different kinds of relationships based on different kinds of love. Okay? So we're going to dive into at least one or two parts today. This is going to be more than a one episode because there's a lot to unfold in relationships. So if you're interested in that content, stick with me. Let's get started. Okay, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope that you pause and take a moment to do it right now because it is free. And then cost you a dime to go ahead and subscribe, to ring the notification bell so you get all the upcoming video. And please share it with someone, okay? And leave me a comment. If it's something you agree with or something you disagree with, that's fine. Let's talk about it, okay? Because there's a lot to unveil and a lot to uncover and a lot to unfold when it comes to relationships. Are you in a relationship? What kind of relationship? There are many, many types of relationships. And the relationships, as I said earlier, are actually based on the types of love. There are traditionally 4 types of love. I heard they have put in a 5th love. I had to do a little research about that. But the initial 4 loves is 1, the agape love. That's the one that is an unconditional love. It's a love that God puts in us, that we will love our fellow man. It doesn't have to be a person that you know. It can be a total stranger, and you have empathy and compassion, and you don't want to see anyone hurt. If you see a woman on the street, she's struggling, and say she's expecting a baby and she's bent over holding her stomach and almost like she's going in labor, would you just drive by and say, oh, look at that lady? Or would you stop and try to give her some assistance or see what's wrong? That's the agape love in us that just loves. It's that love that you don't have anything hinged on to it. It's just a pure love that we should have within our own heart to love others, to just love and care. And I think that's the purest type of love. Then there's the storge or the storge. This is the love that we have for like our mother and father, and our sister and brother. And it's more like a family love. It's a unity love. It's a love that you have because you're with this person all the time. Or when a mother has her baby, she puts that baby in her arms and she just loves it. And then the father, he's embracing mom and the baby. And then you have another child, and then the sister and brother, that's my brother, that's my sister. And you just love on them because it's like a family type of love. The next type of love is the philia love or the filial love. And that's the love that is a brotherly love. And that's where Philadelphia gets its name, and it's a slogan is Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. That brotherly love is a love that you choose. You know, it's a chosen kind of love. I choose to be your friend, where God tells us to love one another. So we have a brotherly love for the person that we choose to love, not a love that you're born into, not necessarily the godly love, but I choose to love, okay? And then there's the other love is the eros. That love is the exotic love, okay? It's a love for a husband and wife. It's the kissing, it's the hugging, it's a passionate love. It's that love that you feel that when you see somebody, it's like, ooh, baby. Okay. So it is an erotic love, and it's a love that God, he actually ordained that love and between husband and wife. He says, you know, leave your mother and father, leave that storge love, and cleave to your wife, which now you're going to have that eros. and you're also going to have a family love. It's going to be there also. But that erotic love is going to be there for the one that you want to engage with. Okay. All right. So now that we have those particular loves in mind, now let's talk more into the relationship. Now, I'm going to back away from the loves and we're going to talk about relationships in as a whole. By the time you turn 50 or probably even 45, 40, and especially by the time you hit 60, and I'm 69. So I have experienced all the loves. And I believe by now, if you are 40 or older, you can even be 30 and have experienced all the loves. In fact, you probably can be in your 20s and have experienced all those loves. But when it comes to relationships, we experience love through relationships. Relationships, I feel, should make you feel comfortable and make you feel good. If you're in a relationship, that's any relationship that you're in where you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel loved, you don't feel accepted, then uh, you need to make some choices. You need to make some moves. You need to do some soul searching, evaluating. One of the things my father said to me years ago, he said, "The world is wide." This is deep. To me, it was very deep. I never forgot it. He said, "The world is wide. If it's not working for you over here, then move over to the other side." Okay. Now, initially, as a young person, you would think they're talking about globally, which it can be globally. But I understand it as if you're in a relationship over here and it's not working, and if it's a type of relationship that you can move away from, then go to another relationship. Get out of that relationship and move to a more healthy relationship. I believe at this point in the world, in society, there are too many toxic relationships. And that's why we have so many people who have anxiety and depression and just going through so many mental problems and issues is because the relationships are not healthy and they're not strong and they're not good. I feel this is going to be one of those conversations that's going to last a while. I know it is. So, how you deal with relationships are based on um, their importance to you. They're based on your culture. They can be based on your religion. Absolutely. They can be based on your past experiences. That's a big one, a big one. How we were treated in past relationships make a difference in how we enter into another relationship because we have a tendency to carry that baggage from past pain, past hurts, and past issues. We carry them over into other relationships. That's why it is imperative to get healed from bad relationships. So if once you get out, and if you're fortunate enough to escape an abusive relationship, a toxic relationship, before you move on, get help to clear your mind, your heart, and to get yourself right so that you won't put all those issues and those triggers onto and into your next relationship. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Today, I want to talk about toxic relationships as a as one of the foundations. Okay. If you are in a toxic relationship, let's start here. How do you know that you're in a toxic relationship? If your relationship is toxic, you will not feel valued. Um, you will not feel the love, the energy of the relationship will be kind of a very negative type energy. When you're around the person, you have fear. Um, if the person doesn't validate you, if they don't support you, if they're showing extreme levels of jealousy, um, if they give you the silent treatment, and I'm not talking about you have a disagreement and then you have to get quiet and go to your neutral corners for a minute, but I'm talking about days, days of the silent treatment. That's a form of abuse. Um, if you're in a physically abusive relationship where a person is putting their hands on you, um, even if it's not a physical, it can be a verbal, where you're being called names or being put down. Um, that's a toxic relationship. And then you have to ask yourself, why are you in this toxic relationship? How did you get into the relationship? And what do you do to get out of the relationship? Yeah. Now, there are times when, as a woman, and let me be clear, abusive relationships are not always a man abusing the woman. Many times, there are women who abuse men. Oh, yes. Do some research, look it up. And I went to a conference once where they were talking about giving numbers, giving statistics of the levels of reported abusive relationships, and how now it was a time where there were only women, or mostly women, who would report abuse in a family. Um, and then the numbers began to rise where men were reporting abuse from women. And then numbers start to go up in the divorce rate and abuse. And it came out of same sex marriages, where divorces were first recorded just from men and women. But now, to add to that, there were men and women relationships, and men and women relationships that were now added to the equations. So divorce can't happen in any of these relationships. So if you're in a toxic relationship and you understand that you're in a toxic relationship by how you feel and what you see, and honey, you know, don't sit there and act like, well, he just had a bad day, or she just was, PMSing or whatever. Don't give them no excuse. Don't do that, because day after day, week after week, and month after month, that this thing ain't changing. It ain't getting no better. You are in a toxic relationship. Do you want to stay in that relationship, or do you want out? Now, I've been told that getting out of a toxic, abusive relationship can be very dangerous. It can be very dangerous. That is why you should always confide in a friend, someone that you can trust, because you're going to need some help in most cases to get out and get free. Okay? I would not advise anyone to try to escape an abusive relationship on their own. You need to confide in someone, get some help. Now, I know there's women helping women. There's places like the Bethany House. You just have to look up what the sources of help is in your city. You can check with the social workers. You can check with at the school. The school can give you help. The church can give you help. The hospital can give you help. The doctor's office can give you help. You know, even without initially going to the police. But you need a foundation. You need someone or something that you can stand on that you know will be a source of support that won't let you down when things get tough. Okay, so, ooh, I'm. This is very difficult even to talk about. It's very difficult for me to talk about because I know there's so many women, and I don't know as much about the men, but I have talked to so many women down through the years who have been in very toxic relationships. I know, I know. And it's hard to deal with, it's hard to talk about. But if you're in a toxic relationship, start making some plans, reach out to social worker, hospital, doctor, someone who can give you some help. And you're going to need, I believe, that you're going to need a good friend or someone that you can talk to as you work through it. Okay. Um, I really don't even want to move away from this too quickly because I have some other thoughts, so many other thoughts on my mind that goes along with this. Now, if you are a woman and you are the one who's the abuser, or you're the one who's creating the atmosphere of a toxic relationship, then I'm going to challenge you as woman to woman that you look in the mirror and ask yourself why. Why? What happened? And if you are a man, because it works both ways, if you're the one who's toxic, because I have been told that half of my viewers and my subscribers are men. And if you happen to be one of those brothers who are abusive, if you're toxic and you know it, if you're alcoholic, if you're using drugs, if you were depressed yourself, if you had some history in your past that you have had to deal with or you have not dealt with, then I encourage you that you look in that mirror and ask yourself why and tell yourself you need help. And then you go get yourself help. Go get yourself some help. I'm serious. Get help. Get help. You need help. And I pray for you, and you pray for you, that God will start to turn some things around in your life. Because it is possible. It is possible for you to change and to deal with your hurt, to deal with that thing that's affecting you. Because what this channel is all about and what this particular segment is all about is you're glowing from the inside out. If your flame is out on the inside and you're burdened with darkness that you cannot glow, then you need to get help. You need that flame reignited so you can be who you are supposed to be and who God wants you to be. Because really deep down inside, you don't want to hurt anybody. It's only the hurt people who hurt people. Okay? I do not want to get emotional and I don't want this video to be too long. So this is where I'm going to pause today's segment in relationships. I'm going to ask you, if you're in a relationship that is toxic, it will affect your health. It will cause you to be depressed. It will cause you hurt. It will cause you high blood pressure. It can cause you anxiety to the place other illnesses can come on. It can affect your heart. It can affect your breathing. It can affect your skin. It can affect your mental capacity. It's so much that is involved in being in a toxic relationship. And I admonish you. I'm not telling you to divorce anybody. I'm not telling you to leave anybody. I'm telling you to get you some help. A counselor, a therapist, a doctor, a good pastor, a good friend, a good family member that can hold water. There's some folk that can't hold water in a bucket, okay? They'll tell your business as fast as you tell them. Honey, they'll go tell it. Make sure that you're talking to a reliable person. And that's why I encourage you to go to a professional counselor to get some help, the help that you need, okay? Listen, I love you. I care so much about you and your health. I want you to glow from the inside out, and God can help you get out of that dark place. And I hope these videos can help you as well. Listen, I'm not a licensed therapist, so I'm not the one. These are totally based on my experience and my opinion, okay? So Mama D just wants you to live your best life. Listen, it's your life. You love it and make the best of it. You don't make the best out of just your bad situation. Making the best out of it means to take what you have and make what you want, okay? So that you can live life freely and happy. God loves you, and so do I. Until next time, you have a very blessed day.